This is just a little scenario I ran down of living in an apartment versus a condo here in Bakersfield. Why it really don't make sense to be staying in a condo when you can own something. Right now, say 3-bedroom, 2 baths. Typically in Bakersfield in the Northwest, Southwest, they're right around 1,100 square feet or so. Your monthly rent is going to be around $1,100 a month. Versus saying, you're going to buy a condo, 3-bedroom, 2 bath. Typically, you're going to get a little more living space with the condos out here. They range from anywhere from 1,100 to 1,600 square feet in the Southwest or Northwest. Price range is most times around $80K to $130. So let's just say we found one for $120. Your payment is going to be around $725 with, just half decent credit. You don't have to have A1 credit or nothing like that. I already have everything broke down. I didn't draw it all out, but you're just gonna have to trust me. I've been doing it for a while, but typically your payment is gonna be around in between $700 to $775 or so. The only drawback with condos is that you do have an association due. Most times in Bakersfield, they're about $150 to $200. Let's just say for this scenario, it's $200. So say your monthly payment right now is about $925 versus $1,100 you'd be spending on an apartment. So, right off the bat, you can see that it's already a $175 a month payment savings versus going to purchase a condo. But not only that, that $925 also becomes a write-off at the end of the year. So if you times that by 12, it's roughly about $11,000 a year write-off you're going to get. And if you break that down to what your monthly savings, basically what you would be getting back if you break it down in the monthly increments, it'll be roughly about another $150. So really, honestly, let me write that down. Your payment now becomes $775. So $775 versus the $1,100. Now you're saving $325. So okay, so now you're saving about $325 a month. So right there, it's clear as day what makes sense. The other thing is what people ask about is like, well, how much you're gonna have to put down? What about closing costs and all that? Typically, to get an FHA loan, it's get about 3.5% down. So that 3.5 is gonna be roughly about $4K on this type of loan, and also $4K typically to close out this loan for closing costs. In today's market, we don't even have to worry about that. We could get that taken care of. There's lending programs that are offer to pay your closing costs. Also, if that doesn't work out, you can get that finance. You can basically get it financed. You can just get that added into your loan, and we could get that taken care of. So all we have to focus on is this $4K. Is how are we going to get the $4K for the down payment? If you were going this route, you're going to have to pay first and last month's rent to move into an apartment. So that's $2,200. So that's $1,800 less, which is, it's not a great deal of money, but it is still money. Everybody don't just have money just to put down on stuff. So you got to have to figure out, how do I do that? How do I get this other $1,800? Maybe you have to move in with somebody for a little while. Maybe you have to borrow from your parents if you can. I'll show you right now how it's basically pretty much the exact same amount of money to move into here versus moving in here. Being that when you do close out the loan, you got at least a month and a half from the day you get your keys to move into your home. You got at least a month and a half upwards to 2.5 months, depending on what day it falls on when you close the loan, to when your next mortgage payment is going to be. So say if you have 2 months almost of no payment, you're going to be saving that. So versus you would be paying the $1,100 another 2 more months, that's another $2,200. So if you're over here, you would have already spent $4,400 versus over here only having to come up with the $4,000 to put down on the home to move in. Now, off of the just living in a home and having this be your home, you're going to get the benefits of this is an investment. I like to look at things like every 2 years, or I look at where I want to be in another 2 years. You might say, I want to move into an actual home in 2 years. So with this being an investment, this condo is most likely going to go up in value, say 25,000. You're going to have paid down a 5 to 10,000 or so, just throwing out rough numbers of principal. So now you sell it and you cash out 25, 30, excuse me. You sell it and you cash out 25 to 30,000, and that's going to give you that money to move into the next home you want. It's going to give you that next step, that next whatever you're looking for to move in. So it doesn't make no sense, especially be living in Bakersfield, to be living in an apartment when you could be living somewhere that you own. So that was just a simple breakdown. I get those questions a lot from people. And also, you got to remember, this was the condo. You are paying an extra $200 a month in just association fees. If you wanted to, and you can find some decent homes in Bakersfield, you could say, you know what, I could afford $150K, and this is $150,000 for a home. And this scenario will break down pretty much the same. It might be a little more money, maybe $100 or so, and a little more, maybe $500 or so dollars more you have to put down, but it typically will all break down the same, going up to 140 to going up to 140 to 150K home. So that was just a simple scenario, simple breakdown. If anybody got questions, just give me a call, hit me up. You know, like I said, I've been doing this for a while. I run numbers all day. It's not a problem. All right.